Hey guys, it's Sarah with ExtremeTerrain.com, and today we have a review and install of the Axial LED headlights with a black housing and clear lens, fitting your 07 through 18 Jeep Wrangler JK models. These are perfect for the Jeep owner who's looking to upgrade their headlights to a projector style headlight and also wants an option that features LED halos. These round 7-inch LED headlights are DOT and SAE approved, meaning they're legal for on-road use. They feature clear polycarbonate lenses with black plastic housings and white LED accent halos that give you that modern look whether they're on or off. So as far as price goes, these come in at around $350 for the pair, which is towards the lower end price-wise when compared to other options. And for your money, you're getting the function of a projector style headlight with the modern styling of the black housings and halo accents. And as far as the install, I'm giving this one a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter. It does feature a direct bolt-up installation, but does require some minor wiring that all in all can be done in about an hour. So with that said, let's check out our install. For this install, you will need a ratchet. We use an electric one, but a regular hand ratchet will work just fine. A T15 Torx socket, a pop clip removal tool, a wire stripping and crimping tool, a heat gun, and you may want some spade connectors. All right guys, so the first step in our uninstall with the hood popped is to remove all of the pop clips that are holding on the top of your grille. Grab a pop clip removal tool or carefully with a flathead screwdriver and remove them. With all of the pop clips removed on the top, you can grab around the outside of the grille and pull each clip to release it. Be careful because the fog lights are still plugged in, so we're gonna tilt the grille forward and unplug our fog lights. Push back on the red tab and then press down and release. Same thing on the other side, might be a little hard to see because it's upside down. Back on the red tab, press down and release. Now you can remove the grille. At this point, we're gonna remove the 4 screws around the outside of your headlight to remove it from the bucket. Grab a T15 Torx socket and go ahead and remove these. All right, now that we're taking out the last one, keep your hand on there so that it does not fall. And remove it. Now you can disconnect them off the Jeep, push back on the red tab, push down on the tab on the connector, and pull them off. All right, so now that we have our factory headlight uninstalled from our Jeep, we can check it out side by side with our new headlight here. Now, as you can see, this new headlight features a much more modern design thanks to the halo around the outside as well as the black housing. This is gonna look great on or off, and it also has an important functional difference as well. This is a projector style lens, meaning you're going to get a brighter and more focused beam of light when compared to the reflector of the factory. So with that said, let's finish up our install. All right, so before we can install our new headlight, we have to do a bit of wiring. What we're gonna do is take this small wiring harness. It was connected here to your light. We disconnected that, and we're gonna wire the bare wire end to a 12-volt ignition source. So it comes on when you would turn your running lights on. So go ahead and twist the wire. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna use a spade connector. Now, as I said before, as long as it's a 12-volt ignition source, you should be fine. So this is just one way to wire. So now the bare end of the wire is nice and tight. You're gonna slide the spade connector on there if you choose to go this route. And what we're gonna do is clamp it down. We're just using a crimping tool to do this. Just double check that you have a nice and tight connection that's not gonna pull out. Next up, grab a heat gun, especially if these are heat shrink, because you don't want any moisture or weather to get in there. Go ahead and melt them down. Now I can get it installed on the Jeep. So at this point, we can splice into our 12-volt ignition source. What we're gonna go to is the connector for the fog light. Now, if you're not sure which one is your 12-volt source, you can grab a voltmeter and check it out. On our Jeep, it's a green and white wire here. You may notice the splice was already done to our Jeep previously, so we're gonna connect into here. If not, you would just splice into that wire, whichever one is your 12-volt source. For us, again, it's that green and white. So we have the other end of the spade connector that we installed just now. Just gonna plug it in. And I left this tied together because you really don't need all of that much wire. And so it's a nice clean install. I'm going behind the headlight bucket. And then we're gonna plug it into the blue wire on the back of the headlight. Now you can take the other wiring harness in the back of your headlight and plug in this connector to your factory connector. And press down the red tab. Go ahead and clean up all your wiring. If you need to throw a few zip ties on there to secure it, that is not a bad idea. Just make sure it's out of the way of anything moving or sharp. Line up your headlight in the bucket. We're gonna install this retainer circle along the outside. This is your factory retainer. Then we're gonna use all of the factory Torx screws and install these as well. And if it's hard to get your fingers down in these bottom areas, use the Torx socket itself to guide the screw in. Grab your ratchet and your T15 Torx socket and tighten them down. And keep in mind you are going into plastic, so don't over tighten. So now you're gonna repeat all of those steps to install your passenger side headlight. Once both headlights are installed, we can lean our grille on the Jeep to reinstall it. We're gonna leave it at this angle so we can plug back in both of your fog lights. Reaching underneath the fender, or you can reach inside the wheel well, plug in both the connectors. Make sure you press down the red tabs. Line up all of the metal tabs on the bottom of the grille and press them into place. Reinstall all of the pop clips in the top of the grille. All right, so that is gonna do it for the review and install of these Axial headlights. And remember, for all things Jeep, keep it at ExtremeTerrain.com.